Alright, so part 11 on building your locomotive control stand. Now it's been some time and I've actually got the simulator practically done. Most of the vids I really couldn't do due to time constraints. So you see all the wiring hooked up inside here. We do have the speaker. That is getting hooked up there for the radio. Now you see the locomotive brake control assembly with the lighting aspect there. And all your toggle switches and wires, plus also your rotary switches down here. The computer system that runs the simulator, which the programs that you can use when it's fully functional at 100%, is Train Simulator 2020 from Steam. Now you do see the screens, the MFDs, and also your desktop controllers. Under here you'll see the wiring, which is ran to the back. There's going to be a cover plate put under there. You do have your cup holder, your paperwork area, and your little baby table. Your switch boxes, those are actual devices from the units. Those are what we were cleaning last. So there are toggle switches in these guys. Those are momentary style. The light switch, that is going to be up and functioning. I've got to get new lights for it. They burned out. Power source was a little bit too high. Toggle switch, that's for the step lights. And then also the window heater, toggle switch there. We've got our emergency EOT here. Alright, and then we've got our toggle switch for the attendant call there. Sander, alerter, bell, EOT, horn switch, and the horn. Radio is installed, brake system's installed, lights, your rotary switches. Normally off position. We do have power 110, that is provided for a plug to charge up any devices, as they do in the locomotive. We've got another switch that's going to be going there. Now up on top, we've got our light switch here. There's a toggle switch. We've got our wipers, rear wipers and front wipers, and our toggle switch for our light. So that's for the headlights and stuff. I'm sorry, the windshield wipers. And then this is for our light here. That is actually ran off of 110 power. Those are LED lights from Lowe's and Home Depot. Our two screens, they're 65 inches, but the front one's going to be bigger. That's a 65-inch Roku TV. Wiring aspect is that's another story. But all the wiring from your switches come through here. You got your pot sensors, 3 of them. There's one back here for the reverser. 110 power. Wiring that goes for our lighting supply. And then also grounds. Those are those are grounds. We've got the back of our electrical switch box panel. This is the teensy potentiometer that is for the push buttons. All your buttons and your switches. This is the teensy Arduino. That is for the potentiometers. Those are these silver guys right here. Those are pot sensors. There's a total of 5. And power supply too. That goes for the lighting on that. That's going to get redone. Everything's going to come off of one supply for the power. That way it doesn't affect any buttons or switches. Because I'm having issues on that part. Under here, in the back, got all your wiring for the computer system. It's quite a bit. But as you can see, you've got the wires that go for the internet and the power supply. wiring that goes for the push buttons on the desktop style. We got a splitter. I know, it's called a squid. We got a power supply here that goes for the screens, the MFD screens. That's a splitter, so one screen shows on two. That is powered supply that goes for the lighting, which the lighting is ran to the back and up the sidewall, which is a little bit dusty. I got to dust everything down again. I'm fighting dust. So if you have dust in your house and you live in the Houston area, one way to get rid of that dust is you can actually call. I'm not a commercial and I do not go to commercial licensing or anything like that. So it's just a word of reference. Village Plumbing and Air. Give them a call and they can take care of all your dusty situations. They've got the Halo air filter device. It's actually UV light, something like that, which actually traps the dust particulates. But you can see the power supply going to the lighting. That's all hard ran. It's split off, which goes to the lighting in here. We've got our power supply that goes to the toggle switch. And they run it down here. Which actually, I've got to get that moved over. That's the internet cable. But yes. So one thing what you're going to do is whenever you're painting the front view, you're painting it black, matte black. That means no shiny aspect whatsoever, because you do not want the reflection of the light casting back to the TV. The screen on the window is plexiglass. I chose plexiglass because of the fact that it did want a screen view aspect. So whenever I'm sitting down, I do have an actual reflection like I have a reflection in a cab when lights are on. So compared to using a rail driver, keyboard, where's the mouse? Mouse or a joystick device for your locomotive simulator, TS2020 or Run 8. You can actually build one of these guys. It does take you time and you gotta have space. There's a lot of cuts and angles, things that are still being on order and waiting to come in. The fan, the locomotive front view window camera, also some lighting, I believe. There's also going to be sun visors built in, which I've got those. Sound system, there's going to be a Bose subwoofer down here. There's going to be, I believe, a 12 to maybe 16 inch sub in the back. Down here at the base, there's going to be a sound bar. It's going to be built in. That way you get the rumble aspect as you're driving the locomotive. Because compared to using the TV, which is this guy here for sound, it doesn't give you the desired effects that you want. So if we kick on the TVs, which I've got to get some screens, I've got MFD screens I've got on order. Because whenever you have kids, they tear things up. My son broke the button off of that guy. Oh my gosh, it's a booger. So I've got to get probably going to do a TV screen on that. If I can get a special order one and put some trim around it, I will do that. So those are Dell's. If I can find the same ones, that'd be great. Or some replacement buttons. But that is running there. But yeah, that's your locomotive controller. Wiring is quite a bit of fun. You're running grounds and positives. So, like you see, we have this breadboard here. Red is positive, blue is ground. We've got positive power supply going to all the switches. Okay. Which it's looped. That way it's giving a continuous feed, compared to just having one power supply going in and it diminishing through every connection going into it. We've got another bank here. That is power and also ground. Power, yes. Power is going to the switches, which whenever that power is pressed, it goes to the Arduino. That Arduino registers that power output and converts it into a keyboard button press. That is how you're doing that. I got 37 minutes. Okay, so I've got some power I gotta work on. Whichever unit you desire to do, you've got to get into and get the proper measurements for the cab. This actual simulator stand is going to be 6 feet wide by 7 feet tall by 9 feet deep, end to end. So if you do have space and stuff to build one of these things, yeah, you can do it. It's not hard. Just take your time and do it. Man, I love the dust. Gotta get a halo system. Yeah. So Mr. Rick. My guy Rick, my manager, gave me that railhead. His dad worked on the railway, so he had 2 of them, which he gave me one. I was like, cool. Thank you, Mr. Rick. Great guy. Amazing dude. So Mr. Rick, they used to work for us. I'll give you a shout out. Carpeting will be done later through time in a couple, I'd say a year or so. Whenever I get the chair, because there's a locomotive chair I got to get. Also the fan that goes up there. There's numbers and letterings and stickers and stuff and decals I got to put in here because it looks bare. But with it up and running, it is pretty amazing. It is quite fun. You get a good virtual feel on it. So next video I'll show you on the actual coding aspect. That'll be part 12. Writing up the code, testing, and getting your levers and push button delayed sequence in proper working order. There are videos on YouTube. It's called How to Build Your Keyboard Joystick Controller. And it's from, I think it's some guy. I've actually got it under my likes, so I have to link him into it somehow. But yes, running your simulator. See if we can get this guy on here. What if that turns on? It does. Computer, is it on? Yes. Yep, so that's what I'm looking at. You know, I've got this stuff here, which, yeah, you see those lights? Those are the lights. So you got your toggle switches there, the fan, numbers, also the style unit that you're doing. BNSF unit, which that's what I'm going to do on this guy here, the BNSF. Get those stickers put right there, nice and pretty. And get those put in like that. But yeah, everything's a little bit more spaced out. Because, you know, it's a hobby. It's your device. You build it the way you want it. That makes you feel comfortable. The screen for the, what do you call it? PTC, Positive Train Control, that guy. Yeah, we don't have them here. Until the simulators have that up and running, honestly, it's obsolete and useless. It's just a screen that shows you some stuff that doesn't really work. So on that part, you're pretty much knowing the route and knowing what you got to do and reading your signs, like the old school way. As you can see here, yes, we do have those. Mine doesn't have the silver plate, so that's on that part. Yeah, we've got him like that. He's got that black box there. Locomotive controller. Got switches on the bottom. I flipped them up to the top. Stands out a little bit. But yeah, radio, horn, phone. Yeah, I got to get the phone in. The radio's there. The horn box is there like that. The horn screech, alerter, sander, or bell, the alerter, and also the sander and attendant call underneath. So yeah, there will be a phone sitting here. Got to get that. Down below, rear lights, lead lights, and fan, which the fan will be controlled by that guy. So whenever I want to kick on the fan, I can kick it on. Because it does get hot in here running 2 TVs. So Yeah, part 11 on building your ET44 locomotive control stand. As you can tell, yeah, everything's painted black. That way at night there is no reflection. As much as possible, you don't want ambient light reflecting while you're driving and stuff. So keeping it clean of dust and stuff, which I've got to de-dust that again. Dust is the pain in the butt. Yeah, that's your computer system there. 4 terabytes of hard drive. That's what you're needing minimum, and a darn good graphics card. Your computer minimum is going to cost you about $1,800. So a lot of wires and stuff. That's storage. So in case I do have issues with wires or I need to add something, I've got plenty of wiring. There's a couple of things I got to add to it, make it look nice and pretty. But that'll be in time. Warning, do not touch. Not only will this kill you, it will hurt the whole time you are dying. I agree. But yeah, it's pretty fun. So compared to, using one of these guys, these things are rinky-dink $300 pieces of junk. I personally hate them. I don't like them. Doesn't give you the real aspect effect, so. And then the keyboard, yep, there's your keyboard. Which it fits perfectly right here, honestly. I was running a video, had my phone standing straight up, thinking I could get good view. Tried it out on a 65-inch screen TV, and it did not look pretty. So I deleted that one. We'll be doing a remake on that guy Sunday, I believe. Due to the fact AI crashed into me. Stupid AI. But that's another thing for the developers. Whenever they make operational MFD screens. So that's another one there. But yeah, just building your locomotive control stand. Part 11. Cab is done. There's a lot of angles and stuff you got to get into. And it's not hard, honestly. It's not really hard. So yeah, all your 2x4s and stuff are pitch black. So at night, whenever you're driving, see the TV's got to be bigger because you see the white. That's the problem. I need a bigger TV. But at night when you're driving, which will get the light here, turn that off. It's all pretty much blacked out. So what you can do on your TV whenever you do get a Roku, you've actually got your remote. Press this guy here, and it'll pop up a screen that says TV settings, and you can do actual picture off, which the TV will be on, but the picture will be off, and you press OK. What that does is that blacks out the TV. Okay. So now you're driving fully at night, and you've got the view of your tracks and what's in front of you here. You do have a little bit of a glow, but nothing major. But yeah, you do see the window in the back. The further back the camera is, the less you can see it. But with it up and running, it's pretty neat. One thing they always say is never keep trash on the dashboard. So. But it is pretty fun to operate when the office is pitch black and you got the lights on. This is what you're pretty much seeing. Ooh. That's what you're looking at right here. So feels like the real thing sometimes. That's what's pretty cool. So Building your locomotive ET44C4 control stand simulator for Train Simulator 2022 from Steam and Dovetail Games. That's it. Still more work to be done. It'll be coming through time. Little small investments. So the next video will be the wiring and coding aspect. That I'll be probably uploading in a couple of days. Have a great night.